As y'all know, in 2 days, the day after Halloween, November 1st, 2025, all EBT, SNAP, food stamp cards nationwide will stop working because they won't be funded going forward for November, December. We don't know when it will end due to the government shutdown. And I want to talk about this because I see a lot of people online happy this is happening. Happy, they're saying that, they're glad that, all these families will stop receiving this benefit. And I want to give you my perspective as someone who has never used this program. I've never qualified for it because apparently they say I make too much money, which I don't. But they do have income requirements, and I'll have them here on the screen. But just look at them; they're not very high. But at the same time, there are millions of people around the country working retail, working, restaurant jobs, working all these kinds of jobs that don't make this income. They make less than this. All these companies are getting richer. All these companies are, raking in profit. And at the same time, there are millions of families that rely on food stamps to put food on their table for their kids. And, I've never qualified for this program. I never really looked into it. But right now with this government shutdown, I kind of stopped and looked into it. And let me tell you, it's a lot of money. A lot of these families receive a lot of money per family member. For me, we have four people household, so I would have been getting around $1,000 a month. There's people that make that's like 2 weeks of paycheck. That's a lot of money. But at the same time, this is money that's going to feed kids, to feed families that need it the most. And I think that's a great way to spend money. Instead of, sending it abroad or spending in these programs that, we don't really benefit. This is feeding families in America. And in case you missed it, you know, they're not funding this program due to the government shutdown because the left and right, they can't come to an agreement. The right doesn't have the votes. They need 60 votes. They don't have it to pass the bill they're trying to pass, the spending bill. So they just shut down the government. And the left is, not giving up. They're, saying we're not gonna, give you the votes. And they're both blaming each other. The right is blaming the left is blaming the right. And who's right, who's wrong? It depends on who you ask. But I just think it's kind of wild that, they're punishing families. But do I think they should take it away from other people? No, definitely not. We spend as a country money on a whole bunch of things for other countries, for things that we don't need. SNAP, EBT, food stamps, we do need. We need to have this program to help families in need in America. Families with kids, especially this. Everyone's talking about, oh, we got to protect the children. We got to do this. Well, if you want to protect the children, why are you trying to take away food from kids? That's what I don't get. And I'm not trying to, say this is a left problem, right problem, any kind of problem. This is just something that, they're trying to take away food from kids, and I just don't like that. And, online they're going to be talking, oh, well, we're doing this to protect the children. You're taking away food from kids, and you call that protecting kids? Come on.